Merali. Is that name familiar with you? Welcome to Financial Literacy Simplified. Today I want to talk about one of the big business people who knew exactly the right time to make a decision. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Naushad Merali, for those who may not know him, was one of the founding owners of Kensel, Samia Group, and Eveready East Africa. This gentleman even went to an extent of selling Equatorial Commercial Bank, those who know about Equatorial Commercial Bank, to Mwalimu Sacco. Naushad Merali, in 2000, Airtel was Kensel, sorry, let me use the word Kensel. You remember there was Kensel, it became Celtel, it became Zain. Today it is known as Airtel. It is one and the same company. In 2000, Kensel was owned 40% by Naushad Merali and a French investor who owned 60%. I think the name of this French investor was Vicidi or something like that. Forgive me if I will not correct it rightly. And as you recall, Kensel was loss-making company. Even Celtel and Zain. At least today, Airtel has gained ground. It is quite stable. But now the French investor got tired. You know, if you have a business that is making losses year in, year out, it reaches a point you just say, I want to quit. The French investor, 2004, decided to quit Kensel. And in the agreement of this company, there was something called preemptive rights. A preemptive right is a right given to existing shareholders to buy that stake should another shareholder decide to withdraw. So, Merali was given the first option to buy the 60% stake. The 60% stake, it was costing around 200 to 250 million US dollars. The exchange rate in Kenya 2004, a dollar was going for 80 shillings. So we are talking about 16 billion to 25 billion shillings. Would Merali have this money? We don't know. Merali took it head on. I'm going to buy this company. So he sat in a boardroom negotiating what price should he pay for the stake, the 60% stake. On the other hand, on the other side, Merali was also in a boardroom discussing how to sell this 60% stake. So in short, you are in a boardroom, one side discussing what to buy, the price to pay. You are also discussing another one, the price to be paid. In short, Naushad Merali was what? Was a broker. On the boardroom to sell, he was engaging Mo Ibrahim. Mo Ibrahim is a South African investor, and they agreed he will sell Airtel to them for 250 million US dollars. The other side, with the French investor, he agreed to buy the 60% stake at 230 million US dollars. If you can do simple maths, 250 less 230, that's a whopping 20 million US dollars. At the exchange rate of 80 bob, Naushad Merali pocketed 1.6 billion Kenya shillings in 2004. So that recovered all the losses that he had probably made. And after that, Naushad Merali also owned Eveready East Africa. Around 2007, Eveready East Africa, when there was so much companies becoming public, Eveready East Africa got listed at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And the majority shareholder in Eveready East Africa was none other than Naushad Merali. He sold this company, but unfortunately, he sold a shell to Kenyans. Eveready would not have the fundamentals right. Eveready was facing competition with solar panels. Eveready was facing competition with rural electrification project. You remember when Kibaki was president, there was massive electrification. Eveready was also fighting with rechargeable torches, so they could not sell torch batteries. And therefore, it did not have a future. The point I want to drive at, Merali knew the right time. Before the world realized that Eveready was a shell, Merali had sold money and pocketed it. Another one, Equatorial Commercial Bank. You remember, this bank was not doing well. It was owned by Naushad Merali. And for one reason or another, I think he managed to sell it for 1.6 billion to Mwalimu Sacco. And his bank that was actually collapsing, he managed to sell. The point I want to bring to you, sometimes business people with business acumen can be able to tell, when do I exit, or when do I jump off this ship before it sinks and drowns everyone on board. Wish you well. Let me stop at that. Let's continue engaging.